And that man is Vernon Parker, currently the mayor of Paradise Valley, and we thank you very much for being with us.
Frank,
Vernon, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Good for you.
A treat to be here tonight.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being with us. It has been, do you think the fact that there are so many people in this race, is that going to hurt, help? What do you think effect that's going to have?
I don't know. I really believe that the marketplace of free ideas will prevail. Whoever has the best message, the best team will prevail. And so we're doing extraordinarily well, and we're just excited about the entire race. Very excited, believe me. Going door to door, knocking on doors, knocking on, you know, so it's just been a lot of fun.
And that's a very crowded field, as we're seeing right there. Some of the polls are very interesting, to say the least, as far as the results. How much attention do you pay to those?
Well, the only poll that I'm going to pay any attention to is the final poll, the poll of the people, and that's the most important. I'm not going to get, you know, hung up on, you know, doing this, which way is the political wind blowing, and it's all about your message. It's all about being true to the voters. And a lot of candidates, they focus on, you know, what should I be discussing, but if you are out there amongst the people, it doesn't matter because you know what's on their hearts, and so that's what we've been doing.
And what is on the minds and the hearts of the folks in District 3?
People want jobs. That's by far the #1 thing. They want to provide for their family. They want to have the same opportunities that they had as children, because right now, the way I look at it is that the country is in a state that we will not leave this country for future generations the same way that we had it. And when I tell people that, my campaign theme is restoring faith in America. And I chose that theme because I believe that we, the American people, have lost faith in our elected officials. You know, we said, no, we don't want government-sponsored health care. They've said yes. We said, no, we don't want, you know, takeovers of banks and financial institutions. They've said yes. But more importantly, we've said, no, we don't want to print money like it's monopoly money. And they've said yes, because that's taxation without representation. Future generations will be harmed.
Okay. Obviously, one of the most pressing issues here in Arizona continues to be immigration. And we'll get to that in just a moment, because you do have a plan, a comprehensive plan, I assume, to deal with the immigration problem. But getting back to the economy very quickly, how long, we didn't get into this mess overnight. How long do you think it's going to take before we can get out of it?
Well, first of all, I don't blame just Democrats for this, because as Republicans, we had control of the White House, we had control of the Congress, and we should have gotten rid of, you know, vital things like the death tax. I mean, that should have been done. We should have extended the tax cuts for greater than 10 years. It should have been 20, 30, 40 years. But right now, next year, I mean, people will suffer even more, because we cannot tax our way into prosperity. And when we roll back those taxes, it's going to be devastating. We're going to see more and more jobs flee the state, more and more jobs flee this country. And so we have to become a business-friendly state, a business-friendly country. We have to do it.
How long do you think it'll take us, though, to get out of it?
Well, we have to change the Congress, because right now it's just tax and spend, tax and spend. The Pelosi Congress, they don't understand one fundamental principle. You cannot tax your way into prosperity. You should not spend more than what you bring in. You practice that in your own home. I practice that. But we have a Congress, we have a government that print money. That's just print. And let's just spend.
It's going to take some time.
Yes. Well, absolutely. But, you know, I had a conversation with someone yesterday who said, you know, it's gloom and doom. It's all over. I don't believe that. I believe our best days are in front of us. If we do one thing, we have to stand. America is a self-correcting country. When we go too far to the left, we correct. We go too far over here. I don't think you can go too far to the right, but we do.
Spoken like a true
We
Republican.
do correct.
Yeah.
No, a true conservative.
Okay.
Conservative Republican.
Okay. Now let's get to immigration. You have come up with a plan. What is the cornerstone of that plan?
Well, let me just tell you. I mean, my focus on immigration, my primary focus is the border, because I'll tell you this. I grew up in a household. My uncle was a severe heroin addicted person, and I would come home at 12 years old and I'd see him shooting up with his friends, and he'd steal the things in anything that he could to support that drug habit. And so I felt firsthand the effects of drugs. And when we look at the border, Arizona is the #1 state in America where drugs come into this, and human trafficking. That's despicable. And so what my plan starts with is securing the border first. And then once we do that, then we can discuss a more comprehensive plan about immigration.
You have 3,000 National Guard troops to the border. Would they be armed on taking patrols, taking shifts along the border, or would they be in a backup role?
No, they'd be armed. Because, look, the felons that are coming across the border, they're armed. They're shooting AK-47s. They're killing folks. And so you can't put anyone in a situation where you throw them on the border, don't arm them. That's not going to work.
Okay. Now, you also want about 5,000 new Border Patrol agents quickly assigned to securing the southern border. Where are you going to come up with those people?
Well, I mean, first of all, we can come up with them instantly. I met yesterday, for example, with someone from the National Guard.
We have about 45 seconds.
45 seconds. Met someone from the National Guard, and he told me that that we have the people. All we have to do is just deploy them and pay for them, because the cost is a lot higher if we don't do it. And so we have to do all that we can to secure the border. And if we don't pay for it, you know, the federal government should pay for it. It's the primary responsibility for the federal government to protect the border. That's not happening.
Okay. Vernon Parker, Republican candidate for the District 3 congressional seat. Thank you very much for being with us.
The Republican candidate.
A Republican candidate.
No, we stick with the, Frank.
Thank you very much for being with us, Vernon.
It's a real pleasure.